Hello everyone, welcome to another video on an English review on Porto. And following on the Friday following the playoff round of the Europa League, both the round of 16 draw and the bracket was revealed. And in this video, I am going to be predicting the road to the final. As this is a Porto themed channel, I will still be predicting every team, but I'm going to only speak in depth on the games involving Porto. Might speak a little bit more on the potential opponent of the next round, as it does indirectly tie into Porto. Ferencvaros was Braga. I do think there's a good chance for Ferencvaros to pull off an upset, and I am tempted. But thinking about it a bit more, Braga it does seem like a safer pick, and they've got the second leg at home. Plus, Ferencvaros have lost their last two games, so go for a Braga through. Panathinaikos vs Real Betis. I'm picking Real Betis. Genk vs Freiburg. Don't think Freiburg are good enough, so I'm going to pick Genk. I think Lyon will beat Celta Vigo. Then Stuttgart vs Porto. I will be doing a live preview this week, so as for how the specific first leg will go, you'll see in-depth thoughts and analysis for that stream. But looking at the tie as a whole, it will be a competitive one, and this is a good side. They're not Champions League level, but they'll be competitive. Porto, at home, managed to win every game, but the away form's been very average. One win, two draws, and one loss. One of those draws was against a Utrecht side that didn't get any other points. So I think Porto will likely struggle on the road in this game, but probably a narrow loss. But I think when they're at home, they should have a better chance, and I do have them getting through against Stuttgart. And Nottingham Forest vs Midtjylland. This is a tie that does interest me because Midtjylland did win away at Nottingham Forest earlier in the campaign, but that was under a Nottingham Forest side that was a defensive calamity. So, but Nottingham Forest will be favourites, but I do think Midtjylland do have a decent chance because they've had a good campaign, but I'm going to go for Nottingham Forest to go through. Bologna vs Roma. Bologna haven't been the wild card that I thought they would have been. I'm going to pick Roma to go through. Then Lille vs Aston Villa. Lille, decent team, but Aston Villa, I think, should be going through. Then Braga vs Real Betis. I've got Real Betis to beat Braga. I don't think Genk will have enough against Lyon, so I'm going to go with them to go through. And on Porto vs Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest did beat Porto at home earlier in the campaign. However, one thing I will say is that they did have help from the refs within three big moments, albeit the second penalty was a definite penalty. But outside of those three big moments, with the two penalties and the disallowed goals, both sides didn't have much chances. With a new manager, there is going to be a difference, but I don't know how much difference there'll be in a way to then influence the tie. And then I would certainly back Porto at home more. So I'm thinking probably a close win and a draw away, or maybe Porto have to lose that second leg, but then get at the result in extra time. I think Porto will go through this time. Roma vs Aston Villa, two favourites to win the tournament, but I think I've got Aston Villa to win. I believe they are a stronger team. I have Real Betis to beat Lyon. Don't think Lyon are gonna go much further than the semis. And then Porto vs Aston Villa. This is an Aston Villa side that did have a small hope at competing for the title, and they've got some very good players. Morgan Rodgers, Ollie Watkins are both BT are England squad players. Emiliano Martinez was the World Cup winning goalkeeper back in Qatar. I don't think Porto are going to have enough to get past Aston Villa, and I think it's going to be the semi-finals where Porto exit. And then we got Real Betis versus Aston Villa. On a two-legged game, I would probably give it to Aston Villa. To be fair, they do have a manager that has won this competition with the rivals of Real Betis Sevilla. I'm not going to buy into this Anthony hype, but he is certainly going to be a key player for Real Betis, and Bazisco as well, who's also experienced. I think it'll be close, but I'm going to give Real Betis the win. Let me know what you think. No matter who you support, or maybe you're a fan of one of these teams, let me know your thoughts. Porto fans, how far do you think Porto will go in this competition? All interaction is very much appreciated, and more content will be coming throughout the weeks of March. And until next time, Forza Porto.